Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Queen's Wish 2. Now, last time, after returning from our first successful mission and getting introduced to the basics of base building, and by the way, spoilers, you might have noticed that I did a few things here, but I'll go to that in more detail in a moment. But yeah, so we returned, did some base building basics, and then, surprisingly, we were told to return home to the palace to come before the queen. I suppose in the first game we actually did start out in the palace, where the queen personally, told us her wish, as it were, and sent us on that mission. That was going to be the whole first game. And here we were thrown right into the action, I suppose, and are only now going home to talk to the queen. But of course she's just going to send us back, obviously. Anyway. We are going to deal with that in a few moments. I have taken some time to spend all of my gold, well, almost all of my gold, on mostly upgrades. So, I guess I'm not sure, did I place the blacksmith last time? I think I did, right? The blacksmith and the alchemist were basically the recommended, or even required first buildings to place. So, I took another look at what was available, and I ended up giving everyone basically a weapon upgrade. So what I did was I was first going to give Atantuo a better bow, but it's pretty expensive, and there was this sword available which was quite a bit better than what anyone had. So I got that one instead, and I gave the better bow that I already bought, this one, to our healer, Ray, who is going to use that as his main weapon for the most part. I mean, I could have given him a better wand, which in a way makes sense because, spellcaster and all that, but for variety's sake, I bought the second tier rank, basically. Well, it's still a tier 1 item, but it's slightly better than the basic one, the oak wand. So I bought one for her, and, for variety's sake, I gave him this better bow. But of course, I'm eventually going to upgrade everyone. But these cost a few, well, between 50-ish and up to almost 100 gold. So yeah, the money went fast. And for him, I got this pretty decent spear. Of course, I wasn't really left with a lot of money for augments and runes. In fact, really, basically none. I just recycled that rune that I had already, maybe a little bit hastily put into that first inferior sword, and put it in this one instead. So we have a decent to-hit chance now. I guess I'm going to have the prince charge into melee a little bit more readily, at least for the time being. Maybe that's not such a bad composition anyway, to have him as the, sword and board fighter, him as the more offensive-based, less defensive two-handed fighter, with a nice cleaving effect built into these two-handed weapons. She's obviously going to be our basic spellcaster, and he's going to be, well, a bit of a hybrid, as it were, between healer and an archer. Well, he's basically a healer whose main weapon is going to be a bow. But yeah, we'll see to what extent we'll find equipment that that increases specifically range damage, for example, and to what extent I'm going to prioritize that perhaps over equipment that increases healing bonus. Right, I did get that rune. Not really anything else for anyone. Well, we're going to find more runes, obviously, and, we're at the very beginning in terms of that whole upgrade or equipment juggling sub-game. Right, but for now I'm basically out of money, but I did spend some of it on unlocking these 3 plots up here, making another outdoors shop, the carpenter, specifically because that's where you buy bows and wands, so obviously I wanted that. Yeah, shields as well, didn't bother with that for the time being. Stays just being two-handed, caster weapons, but I kind of like the idea of having, I suppose maybe I'm eventually going to give him a staff just for variety, or maybe give her a staff, because they do deal more damage. Of course, that way you don't have the offhand slot for that crystal ball kind of thing, but maybe I'm gonna long-term give Ray a wand and an offhand item, and give Pat the staff, because it deals more damage and, again, variety. So I have a use for, any nice items of that type that I find, because it always feels bad to just, sell a nice artifact because you don't really have anyone who uses that kind of item. Anyway, that's problems for future me, of course. So yeah, I did buy this. I did use this space actually to build a barracks. And now the thing is, unfortunately, items or buildings you buy, and I was really surprised how many resources the game gives you to start out with. I mean, I'm technically even able to build a weaving room if I really wanted to. I think I could have built a guard tower at some point before I spent too much iron. I believe on the barracks mostly. I don't think I could have upgraded the fort because all of my quicksilver that I started out with went into the alchemists. But yeah, anyway, the unfortunate part is that I don't think, or at least I couldn't easily find a way to look at the descriptions for the buildings I've already placed. Maybe if I remove them, I'll be able to see them again. Maybe that's how it works. Actually, I can just give that a try, I suppose. So you can click on it, remove it, and it puts it back here. Okay, so that's a way to look at it again. But yeah, barracks give you +1 damage to physical for odd barracks. And magic for even. Okay, so this first one should increase all of our physical damage, which is most of what we deal for the time being anyway, by 1, which is nice. And of course, since there are so many more slots than at least I remember there being in the first game, it seems like you can basically build, or that might be specific to this main fort, actually. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe the remaining forts are all smaller, and you'll have to decide what to actually put where, or how much of each type of building you can build in the end. But well, at least for the time being, I have this. I'm gonna replace it just to quickly see. Yeah, currently active 0, but well, obviously now we're back to 1. I have not actually talked to these NPCs. Well, specifically this guy, and I believe in the other 2 non-shop buildings that I built. There might also be some more dialogue. This is the base for the soldiers that protect this fort. Only one of them is here right now. The rest are manning the walls and patrolling the roads, keeping brigands from stealing your supplies, which I believe is actually a thing. I think that's a thing. Like there's like a mechanic of time passage, and every month you get like a rundown of your maintenance costs for all the buildings and your income from the various resource producing locations that you control. And there's also a chance of theft, which you can reduce by building more, well, stationing more soldiers, basically upgrading your fort, I think does that, and also placing more guard towers in your fort in the region. Things like that. But I'm mostly just half remembering the first game and, piecing together some information I read just now, so that might not be exactly how it works, but something along those lines, and we're obviously going to learn about that. Anyway, sit and trade tales, I guess. Even though you are the prince, the soldiers of your forts welcome you warmly. You trade news of events and tales of campaigns. If this fort had a distillery, things would be even more friendly. Right, that's one building that I could have built but didn't. How are things going in the region? You ask the soldier questions to get an idea of the security level in this region. Barracks and guard towers increase security. Okay. The anger of the locals decreases it. The gentle coast is largely secure for now. Our battalions are in place and protecting us. You learn that this area is reasonably secure. Robberies of your supplies will be rare. That's good to know. But I do wonder if building this many buildings right off the bat and, reducing my available resources to what they currently are, maybe was a little bit hasty, a little bit risky in terms of having too much upkeep. But we're going to conquer some of these surrounding areas here, some of these places, which should then provide some resources for us. So we might be good. We're probably going to be good. Right. Also, it says resources produced. That seems like a lot. If that's how much we get each, I don't know, round or, month or whatever, cycle, then, yeah, we should be good just by that, right? It seems like a lot. Anyway, here we have the carpenter, of course, which I already showed, and here we have a baker, and then the other building is a mill. You need a mill in order for the baker and the distillery to work, which makes sense. And these just have some bread, I guess. Rough stuff. Thanks. Check in on things. Sells well. Okay, more bakers working together, make better goods, right? But of course, you can only ever have one type of building per fort. But yeah, these both the mill, bakery, and distillery all have similar effects in that they reduce store prices in all forts by a certain percentage, additive, I guess. So the more you have of those, the better. The cheaper prices will be. Unfortunately, I did part of my shopping before I built the mill and bakery, so I guess I could have saved maybe a few coins, but obviously, initially these reductions aren't gonna make a huge difference. Also, well, the distillery has this additional benefit of giving me a small chance to not use up potion charges, which is extremely useful, of course, and potentially exploitable, I suppose. If I just quick save the game before drinking a potion, I can technically, save scum until I get a freebie, unless there are special measures in place to prevent that kind of thing. But yeah, here we have the guard tower, which reduces theft chance, but also reduces damage I take in combat. It doesn't specify though, unless unlike the attack bonus from the barracks. All right, and then the upgrade fort. I think this one, I don't remember this bit about dedicating my fort to a special to some sort of production that it mentions here from the first game. So that might be another change. I think, well, I'm not really sure what I did in the first place, in the first game. But here, yeah, it seems like a pretty good investment. And it also does not seem very expensive at all. Not sure what I would dedicate this fort to, but I guess I'll give that a try as soon as I get my hands on some more Quicksilver, I suppose, which is currently the limiting factor here. And then I'll see what options I'm going to be offered. Anyway, just for the sake of completeness, hello. Local mill, yep, check on our things. Everything's in order. Wheat, corn, millet. Alright, yeah, so that's just a quick-ish rundown of what I did in the meantime. Again, maybe a little bit premature investing, or just spending almost all of my resources on this many buildings, but, what the heck. Surely I'm not gonna cripple myself, at least not in the long run. So, back home we go, without much fanfare. You stumble away from the portal, still a little dizzy. At the east door from the garden, your sister, Princess Delia, is waiting for you. It's been over a year since you've seen her. Only a year, but she looks older. Not a lot, but definitely worn around the edges. When you emerge from behind a tree, she shouts, "Atantuo!" She runs up to you and flings her arms around you. Okay. Sure, we're gonna hug her back. She's our sister after all, and I believe we were at pretty friendly terms in the first game. You stand there for a moment after all of your long travels, wandering from land to land, accepting gifts, meeting officials, and being bored. It is very strange to be home again. It's good to be home, sister. I've missed you. Don't baby me. Wow. What? What kind of jerk would do that? Come on. Sure, I'm gonna assume that we missed her. And you. You have no idea how much. I have been spending so much time managing mother, huh? And I could have used your sense of humor through it all. I should have a feast for your return. A parade. Instead, she steps back and looks you up and down. You were attacked. Some vessels dared to try to kill you. You seem undamaged, though. Yes, the merchandise is undamaged. I'm happy to report. Our attackers paid with their lives. That they did. Well, at least some of them. Well, I guess, no, probably most, if not all of them. He says something horrible. One of them hit me? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Don't baby yourself. It was a minor attack, nothing of concern. Well, I mean, it's... Obviously, the attack was actually pretty pitiful, but obviously it's a sign of things to come, so definitely not to be taken too lightly. Yeah, well, the attackers paid with their lives. It seems appropriate enough. She nods. I'm glad to hear it. Well, But we don't know who gave them their orders, and who gave those people their orders. All of them need to pay for this crime. Oh. Well, between these two options, obviously I have to pick number 2. Of course, even if those thugs could handle you, there is no way they could defeat Sutter. Excuse me? We are more concerned about the insult and the message it sends. Mother is adamant on that point. Mother is still fretting about us, and everything else. She told me to send you to her the moment you arrived. Where is Mother? Ah, yes, that. Delia takes a deep breath. Mother is in her chamber. She is in bed for a time, at the advice of her healers. There was It was called the event afterward. The event? What do you mean? The Queen was having a small audience in one of the side chambers. We have been doing more of them lately. Visiting nobles and merchants, you know. She was sitting on her customary stool, upright as always, and she collapsed. She collapsed? What's wrong with her? Well, I mean, we know that she's been sick for a long time, right? I guess she was recovering, or had recovered by the end of the first game? But still, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. Julia shrugs. You know, if I hadn't been there to see it, I never would have believed it. She swooned and fainted. Then things moved fast. We got her in bed. The healers gave her fluids, herbs, rest, the things they always do. So that is why Mother is in bed. Frightening, yes, but nothing to worry about. Well, at least we do have a successor ready, right? Well, we don't know if he's actually ready. That definitely feels like Delia would be more suitable, but I guess, unfortunately, Sutter is the next in line. And how's the Empire of Haven? Fine, or so I thought. The Queen thinks that things are falling apart, and only consuming herself will save it. She works on that list day and night, coming up with things she must see done. Her only rest is the occasional break to meddle in my life. Oh, great. Well, how are things in the palace then? Delia tries to come up with a cheery lie, but she knows that she can't fool you. Grim, shadowy. Everyone knows about the Queen's collapse. Everyone. I have my ways to keep track of the palace rumors, and even I can't keep up with the tales people are spinning. I wish you could stay here for a while. It would do me much good. No room on Mother's list for that, though. How are you doing, then? She rubs her eyes with her fingers. Mother gets worried. She calls for me. She comes up with 50 more orders. I don't know how a woman in her state can stay awake so long and make so many demands, but she can. Is Mother still trying to get you married in all this mess? At this point, that would come as a relief. Anything for a variety. For a journey, but we can discuss this later, I hope. So, Mother is still working on her list? I'm not sure if that should specifically ring a bell. It grows longer by the day. This land needs a new governor. Well, this land needs a new governor. That noble needs to be sent a message. Some law needs to be modified. Each vessel is getting special attention, making sure it is prosperous, and more importantly, under control. Delia lets out a long theatrical sigh, which brings us, alas, to the unavoidable business of the Rokaj, and your mission there. I've seen very little of the Rokaj. Well, yeah, so? I guess it's fair enough, to mention that I'm not an expert, but I wasn't an expert on Sacramentum, and I did fairly well, right? So I guess there's a precedent for me dealing with challenges appropriately. Did Sutter arrive here safely? I guess I should be worried about my brother, Ask, at least out of courtesy. Oh, yes, he's in the throne room. I'm sure he'll want to have words with you. He's far less angry than I thought he would be. Perhaps it's because he gets to move on, and you will be stuck in the Rokaj. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that yet. I figured as much. Yeah, I've seen very little of the Rokaj. We hoped you would see little. Sutter and you were to have a brief break, do some hunting, go to Lascara, the one civilized city there, gifts, speeches, get on a boat and go. And then those wild fools have to go and try to murder you, and now it's going to be a whole big process. Yep, a whole game. So Mother wants a report. Oh, Mother has all of the reports she needs, though I know she wants to see you personally. She has made a decision about the Rokaj. You get to be the first one to hear it. A dubious honor. Your return has put her in good spirits. You achieved a victory in Sacramentum. It makes her expect a lot more from you. I'll report to Mother, then I will return to my room for a good long break. Well, not so sure about that one. After I talk to Mother, we can spend some time catching up. Maybe? I mean, sometime should be possible, right? Just have a cup of tea or whatever, and, talk a little before I depart again. Sure. That would be nice. It truly would. But let's see what Mother says. She will be annoyed if you delay. Well, I mean, if we delay for like half an hour or so. Surely that would be fine. Also, she's in her room, right? What's she gonna do? Get up and kick me out personally? Anyway, we'll see. Don't worry. I will be sure to talk to you again before you go. Go? Go where? Seriously? Come on. Don't be that dumb. Right. So where exactly are her quarters? You try to open the door. It's locked. Its doorknob won't even budge. All of the doors in the palace are enchanted. When the queen doesn't want them to open, they will not open. Oh, right. I guess that's a way that she could potentially, control what I do from afar. But, oh well. You return to the throne room of Sharyn's palace, the heart of the Empire of Haven. From here, Queen Sharyn III says the words that move the world. Or, that's how it used to be. This is where she told you that you had to go to Sacramentum. This is where she sent Sutter and you to do diplomacy everywhere. And now the hall is mostly empty. The royal guard is here, as always, but the queen's gone. The chamber is eerily quiet. There is one familiar face, though. Prince Sutter arrived ahead of you. He's in the middle of the hall, looking down at your mother's humble throne. Well, I mean, I kind of want to at least say hello, but or he talks to me first before I even get a chance to do anything else. Well, in that case, hopefully it's going to be fine, and the game's not going to reprimand me for, delaying and not talking to the queen immediately. Anyway, Sutter stands in the middle of the royal throne room of Haven. Apart from a few guards, nobody else is here. This is the first time you have been here in almost 2 years. Really? Oh yeah, I suppose. The game mentioned earlier at some point that we have been traveling around for the last 2 years or so. Okay. And everything looks a little dirty and neglected. There is a little bit of dust on Queen Sharyn's humble throne. Who allowed that to happen? When you approach, Sutter sadly looks down at your mother's throne. You can remember sitting and playing next to it when you were small. He says, "Hello, Atantuo. Welcome back." Hello, Sutter. He kneels and wipes the dust off the top of the stool with his hand. Not the most glorious homecoming. No feasts, just more work. Want to try sitting in it? Well, come on. It's probably not very appropriate. Thinking about what it will be like when you're king? I mean, he might be, and why not? But I don't know. Neither of these feel appropriate right now. So, I see you made it back safely. Yes, made it back from a disaster. The Rokaj was supposed to be a brief, triumphant visit. Hunt, rest, make a speech, get some gifts. Instead, they attacked us. The Ro. Who else in our empire would be foolish enough to dare such an insult? The Rokaj contacted me directly. One of their shades came to challenge me. Yeah, I guess he should know, right? The Crown Prince grimaces. Yes, while I chased peasants and mindless beasts back and forth across the hills. The real knowledge was sent to you. At least someone remembered to pass their challenge along to me eventually. Okay. We survived. We did. I've been doing well for a while. Glad someone finally noticed. Yeah. Sutter shrugs. Sutter shrugs. You're doing your duty. It is expected. Wow. Cold. Still, it is nice to hear a kind word from time to time. So, now we are back. For a moment. I am to return to dealing with Mother's list. Mother's list? Her list of tasks, things undone. That is why she has been sending us to every vassal in the Empire, as you should know. Learning what is wrong, pacifying the locals, evaluating the governors, putting the fear of the queen in the lazy and treacherous. Ever since she grew ill, she's been making her list, all of her wishes, on one ever-lengthening scroll. Since she collapsed during that meeting, she's been using her rest time to make it even longer. What exactly is wrong with Mother? A long, tense silence. She is getting old. She wants to push herself as hard as she did when she was young, and her body won't take it. She doesn't sleep. She gets angry. She faints. She just needs to rest more and trust her underlings, and everything will be fine. Is that really all it is, though? You seem very calm about this. Maybe. A collapse does seem serious, yeah. It isn't. Just a sign that she's working too hard in her advancing age, instead of relying more upon her supporters. We all need to work together to maintain our empire. We all must do our duty. We should both remember that, when we go. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but could he possibly... I mean, he was away on the road with me for at least a long time, right? But, I mean, could he somehow have been, I don't know, poisoning her or whatever? To, you know, accelerate his taking the throne? I don't know. He didn't... I don't think I got the impression in the first game that he was, you know, that he would do that kind of thing. But who knows what he's actually up to. Anyway, where will we be going? It is not my place to say. He points to the southeast. You must see the Queen. She's resting in her chambers. At least, I hope she's resting. She very much wants to see you. She's very, very angry at the Rokash for attacking us. I believe you are to play a part in her response. Our attackers and the Rokash need to pay. I mean, I suppose, yeah. If Mother wants me on the road, that is where I will go. Also true. I don't like the Rokash. Doesn't matter. And if I refuse to return to that barbaric land, well, there is no refusal. We know that much. Yeah. If she wants me to go, I will go. Easy as that. If Mother wants you there, that is where you have to go. He grins. Still, your high morale is appreciated. Was that? I didn't think that was supposed to, or yeah, to be spoken with a lot of enthusiasm, but okay. I only wonder, he sighs. Never mind. Go see Mother. She has orders. She always does. I'll be here to talk to you before you go. Well, looking forward to it. Sutter is saying that you are leaving too. Worrying. Is it though? I mean, maybe, but it's definitely not surprising. Oh, hey, this opens. This also opens. This is the Great Celebration Hall of Haven. For centuries, glorious feasts have been held here, treaties were signed, wars were planned. You and Delia ran foot races around the tables. Royalty sat at the central table, while people of lesser importance were seated farther from the core. Now the hall is empty and full of shadows. There's dust, even the occasional cobweb. You've never seen it like this before. It is eerie and unsettling. Okay, this one doesn't open. Actually, I wanted to check this one. Ah, yes. Okay, also doesn't open. Okay, another hall with no special message. I guess it's the waiting room for, yeah, in front of the actual throne room. That makes sense. You try to open this door. Ooh, fine wine, huh? Don't mind if I plunder some gold from the royal palace. I mean, in fact, shouldn't I be given plenty of funds to do whatever I need to do on my expedition? Well, this is the dueling hall. In a simpler time, many political disputes in Haven were settled with duels, sometimes fatal ones. This practice was mostly abandoned long ago, but the hall is still here. It is where Sutter and you acquired your weapons training, and where Sutter practiced on you endlessly. And we get an iron short blade and a crude bow. Okay, I'm glad that it's... I mean, in a way, I'm glad it's not, you know, better items like the ones I paid money for. Okay, wait, could I have opened this? No. This doesn't open, but I can get here the long way around. Okay, sure. This is Princess Delia's bedroom. Probably shouldn't be snooping in here, but when you were small, you could always take refuge here. When she got older, she insisted that this be the one place where she could always be left alone. Now you suspect she can't be left alone anywhere. Well, I mean, you'd hope that she would be left alone in her own quarters, right? I should probably feel bad, you know, role-playing wise, but obviously it's not gonna make a difference. In before the game actually does keep track of this somehow, and she's gonna mention it later, but yeah, I don't expect that. This is your bedroom. It has been since you were a small child. Looking at it, you find yourself torn. It seems very small now, and you have a powerful urge to get into bed and not get out again for a good long time. Right, that's not an option though. Another healing potion. Oh, well, don't mind if I do. They don't stack automatically. In fact, maybe they don't stack at all? Nope, not at all. Okay. Right, that's one of the reasons why more inventory space is definitely a thing I will want in the long run. The healers, okay. You enter the hall outside your mother's bedroom. The last time you were here, it was full of petitioners. People would travel here from all over the Empire and wait for days or months to get a moment of Queen Sharyn III's precious time. Now the hall is full of healers. They're everywhere, cleaning linens, working on potions and ointments, applying all of their skill and knowledge to the puzzle of the Queen's health. You find yourself invisible. None of them talk to you. One of them points wordlessly at the west door. The rest continue their work. There is an urgent energy in the room. Can I talk to them? You try to talk to the healers who tend to the Queen. You would think, being her child and the Prince of Haven, you could get an answer. You don't. They must be under strict orders. You are unable to get anything but the simplest pleasantries out of them. Alright, fair enough. Wait, so which one was it? This one, okay. Hold on. Sutter's room? I was gonna ask if, Delia's and my room were up here, where his was, but it's right here. This is Prince Sutter's bedroom. You were always sneaking in here to steal your older brother's things. Okay, I guess I'm doing that again. And not feeling bad about it in this case. This always resulted in a good beating in the dueling hall, but you never stopped. You're powerfully tempted to poke around again for old time's sake. In fact, I'm literally doing that. Another ceremonial blade, huh? Oh, can always be sold. And more fine wine, of course. Is there anything to steal here? Doesn't seem like it. At last, you reach the sleeping chambers of Queen Sharyn III, absolute ruler of the mighty Empire of Haven, guardian of the multitudes all over the known world, and your mother. Like the outer chamber, it has been completely transformed since you last saw it. The healers have taken it over. The smell of medicinal concoctions is overpowering. In the center of the west wall is your mother's massive bed, and lying in it, unfortunately the graphics aren't there to actually represent it, propped up by a mountain of pillows, you see the Queen. For the first time in your life, she looks sort of small. She waves you forward. At last, you find your mother in her quarters. She's propped up by a mountain of pillows and fussed over by a small army of healers and sages. She has a pen in her hand and a scroll draped across her lap. She's writing on it when you approach. The Queen waves the healers out of the room. When you are alone, she looks up at you and smiles. Then, oddly, she reaches out to embrace you. You bend over for a brief, awkward hug. When you are upright again, the smile fades and she returns to being the stern, absolute ruler of a mighty empire. So, my child, you have returned. I should be greeting you in the throne room, but alas, I am struck by a temporary illness. Come, she pats the bed. Sit by me. Inspect her? Well, I should sit down. Whether you're looking well, whether you're looking terrible. I mean, honestly, I assume she would appreciate the honesty, maybe? I mean, I've had a chance to look at her, right? I'm gonna sit by her first. Well, and I guess I don't get a chance to do any of the other things which makes sense. You sit on the bed. Even lying down, Queen Sharyn III of Haven radiates power. She can still send out armies with a wave of a hand. The smell of medicinal herbs in the air makes you feel faint. You have done well with Sutter over the last year, but that was easy work. You are a Prince of Haven. Your lessons must continue. What sorts of lessons? You have been learning about our empire, our many vessels, how to pacify them, make them feel valuable. It helps them keep from rebelling. However, you have all been lucky enough to grow up in a time of peace, prosperity. I thought that would suffice, but then the Rokaj, your father's land, it attacked us, and now you must learn other lessons. What do I need to learn about now? Power, justice, punishment. You will see how we deal with those who resist us. You achieved a victory in Sacramentum. We are encouraged. We hope to see more successes in the future. She runs her fingers over the scroll on her lap, covered with uneven handwriting. This is a list of all we have neglected, all we must do. The Rokaj is on it now. I'd like to know how Delia has been doing. I mean, why would I need to ask her about that? I've been traveling with Sutter, yes. I asked the dreaded list. Sure, let's talk about our siblings. The question catches her by surprise. Delia, she's invaluable to me. She is always here, gathering information, giving advice, sending out orders. She is precious. Still, as valuable as she is, I need to find a worthy match for her soon. It is on my list. Okay. I don't know if I should wish you good luck with that. For Delia's sake. I've been traveling with Sutter. I'm sure he has taught you much. Has he, though? I already saw him, gave him his next set of orders. He's too important now to waste on a minor vassal like the Rokaj. He needs to pacify our restless major vassals. They sense weakness. They're all on my list. Right. Ah, yes, the dreaded list. Should I say that? I feel like I shouldn't, but I'm kind of curious to see her reaction. You know, why the heck not? The Queen looks down at the scroll with a crooked smile. My other children also dread the list, but they know it is necessary. Well, I know that too. But, oh well. They know that I have left much unfinished business in my time as Queen. Like the Rokaj. Right. Unfinished business. The Rokaj, my beloved Ro. Perhaps I should have paid more attention to it. It was so painful after your father died. But this... As she speaks, she grows angrier. Her capacity for rage, even now, is great. He attacked Sutter and you, the greatest of crimes. That demands a careful, lethal response. I wanted to visit the Ro, to learn about it. Now you will learn far more than you wanted. I wanted you to visit the Ro, right? Now you will learn far more than you wanted. Our neglect of them will end. My father was from there. Yes, stating facts again. He was. Consort Darmal, a young warlord of the hills of the Lodaga. You will see them soon. He left his wild land to serve in the halls of power. Then he died, too young. There is cold fury in her eyes. The blood of the Rokaj flows in your veins. They will try to make you think you don't belong there, but you do. Why are you so fond of that land? Because that was where I met your father. I was entranced by the wildness of the place. I was young and foolish, perhaps. I did not look hard enough to see their flaws. Still, their mountains are beautiful and the people are brave. You will see. They have been neglected? I neglected the Rokaj. I confess it. Things were quiet there, so I thought things were well. A mistake many empires have made in that land. Enough of it. They have cried out for attention. They will get it, though they may not... She stops speaking. She stares off into space. Mother? You stand there helplessly, not sure if you should call for the healers. Then your mother returns to herself, not seeming to notice that anything is amiss. She doesn't look angry anymore. She reaches out and takes your hand. More attention, yes. What is wrong? Nothing is wrong. I don't know what you mean. You have an unpleasant suspicion that she is telling the truth. Well, yes, we should pay more attention there. What should be done about the Rokaj? There's a problem there. Someone really should do something about that. Come on, I'm not that dense. Yes, we should pay more attention. I mean, I agree. Agreed. Beginning today, beginning with you. Atantuo, I am giving you a great honor. You will carry out to the Rokaj a full diplomatic mission. A full diplomatic mission? What's that mean? You will return to the Rokaj and show them the Eye of Haven is fully upon them. You will meet with our 3 governors there and decide if they are fit for their job. You will meet with their 4 rasas, their 4 kings, and hear and answer their petitions. Once this is done, we will know much. Then others can act. Okay. And I'm doing this. She lets go of your hand. Who else? This job requires someone of great authority, and only you are available. Happily, you will have help. General Miranda will stay in the Rokaj to guide you and receive your orders. As she speaks, her voice grows slower and more slurred. She is getting tired. Use the portal to return to the Rokaj. General Miranda is still in Fort Meadow 4. Speak with her. She will provide everything you need. When I returned from Sacramentum, I was allowed to request a reward. What? Was I? Should I mention that now? Did I never receive it? It is there at the top of the list. Very tempting to pick. Even though I'm not sure why I would mention that now. Oh, yes. I think I remember. What did you ask for? You wanted to return to Sacramentum. Impossible, of course. But now you have a new colony to look after. One that also needs your help. Okay. I think I vaguely remember. So this might be one of the choices imported via that code from the beginning. I mean, it has to be, because I'm pretty sure there was a choice like this. Okay. So, yeah, that imported code probably is not going to have much impact on actual gameplay, especially because, we start as a new level 1 character, so it's not carrying over levels or skills or anything of that sort. And, obviously the game is taking place in a completely different part of the world, so really what we did in Sacramentum, the only way that could have an impact might be via our reputation, and maybe some people are going to react, maybe some people are going to have heard of us and what we did over there, and, that kind of thing. And then, of course, the occasional bit of dialogue that actually references what we did. So that's a neat touch, but I doubt it's going to have a terribly large impact either way. Anyway, too much of a job for me? No, surely not. I want to learn more about the Rokaj. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we should already know more about the land our own father came from, right? In fact, it's quite surprising that we... Well, I suppose he has been dead for a while, right? Like, did they say he died 20 years ago? Which might mean that we actually... well, our character actually never met him, right? Delia and Sutter would, though. Would have known him. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up. Maybe he didn't die that long ago. Either way. I mean, if we don't already know a lot about his homeland, we should absolutely have an interest, right? That makes sense to me. Yeah, I do want to learn more about the Rokaj. I'm glad to hear it. And you will learn more than you wanted to know, I expect. Leave me, child. Use the portal. Speak with General Miranda. All will be well, I'm sure. It is time to go. She leans back and closes her eyes. The healers return. The audience is over. The Queen liked your response, and she will remember it. Oh, okay. People will pay close attention to what you say, and it will affect how the story progresses and ends. When you aren't sure what to say, be honest. Thanks. I mean, I try that, but it's hard to balance being honest with, trying to get the most out of certain conversations. But, well, we'll manage, as we always do. Prince Sutter is, as promised, waiting for you in the throne room. He takes a good look over your face and, unsurprisingly, reads your expression correctly. So, brother, I assume a nice, leisurely stay back in the comforts of Sharyn's palace is not likely. Well, no, I guess not. I need to give the Rokaj a proper diplomatic visit. Yes. Yeah. It is the natural first choice. Makes them feel valued. Lets us buy time to gather information. Buy time to gather information? I'm gathering the information. I'm not just buying time. Some good government might even come out of it. That miserable land could certainly use it. Don't worry. When you go, you will have all the support we can give. Really? Somehow I suspect that there's not actually going to be a whole lot of support, but we'll see. And you aren't going with me? Of course not. This is a routine job in a minor vassal state. Yeah, only one that, actually tried to assassinate both of us. No big deal. I mean, sure, there is a secret conspiracy there to kill you, but I don't think that's a big worry. Does he know more than he lets on? I don't know. He's probably just being his careless usual self. I don't know. Evaluate the 3 governors. Here are petitions from 4 Razas. Nothing that needs me. Then you can come home with 1 item checked off Mother's list. Right. Why is Mother making that list? I mean, it seems reasonable, I guess. Not sure how else he would manage a huge empire like this. Well, probably, realistically, the monarch, leader, whatever, of that empire wouldn't do all of that just by him or herself, but instead would have a huge staff of experts and, advisors and administrators and all that. But, well, evaluate the... Alright, Mother should let us rest. Well, she should get some rest, actually. Weird set of choices. Why is she making that list? Sutter lets out a long sigh. He starts to talk, then stops. Finally, he says, "She's a true leader of Haven. She's determined to do as much good as she can. We should admire her for it, even when it is difficult." Yeah, I mean, it is admirable, but also, not very reasonable, I guess, to try to do absolutely everything by yourself. But some people are like that, I guess. Mother should let us rest. Again, I mean, we should let her rest. I don't know. She should let herself rest. But that's not an option. She's the queen, we have to obey. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Yes, good, accept that. Once you truly believe it, the endless days come easier. Keep your chin up. This is not a terrible mission. Walking, talking, home. It'll be over before you know it. Right. I could use some advice. I don't want advice, but I imagine you will give it to me anyway. Yeah, honestly, that's how it's gonna be, huh? Sutter grins. I know you really want my advice. You pretend you don't, but I can see doing diplomacy has you spooked. Anyway, my advice, take it or not, get this done quickly and get out. General Miranda will tell you what to do. Follow her advice, give her the answer she needs, and get out. Don't let the road drag you down. The Queen is unwell. The Queen really is unwell, and everyone knows it. He looks you in the eye. You are incorrect. She is fine. Nothing serious is wrong. Understand? If someone asks, she is well. Yeah, I'm not talking to someone outside. I'm talking to you, my brother. Obviously, I'm not going to just, tell some random vessel how things really are, how bad things really are. I was just hoping to get, some honest words with my brother in, but no, apparently not. He thinks I'm an idiot who needs to be told absolutely everything. Although I guess in that case he could be even more explicit, but oh well. It's for the best. Nobody wants to think about Haven with her gone. Well, except you, perhaps. And you will be king. Yeah, no one wants to think about that. Queen's death will be good. Will be very good for you. We'll make sure she has a long, productive reign. Don't know if we can really do much about that. If all she's going to do is make a list and work us to death, maybe we're better off without her. Wow. Harsh. And unfair, of course. This may be also a little bit unfair, but I don't know. The game has made me suspicious that he might actually... that there might be something sinister going on, so... And also, I kind of don't like him, so... There you go. Sutter takes a sharp breath, then he looks at you. You don't think that you have ever seen him so angry. He regains control, but it takes a great effort. We have talked enough. Oh yeah, I agree. The situation is urgent. You must use the portal now. Right. Yeah. Goodbye. We'll talk to you soon. Sure enough. Well, I mean, that was awkward, basically as expected. But I'm kind of glad that the game gave me a chance to, I don't know, I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's just move on. Princess Delia. At last you have returned to the portal. Your mother sending you back through it is kind of predictable, really, as when you went to Sacramentum. Princess Delia is waiting to send you off. She's as teary and emotional as she was the first time. Oh, brother, I just heard that mother is sending you back to the Rokaj. Actually, you suspect that she helped plan this move days ago. Before you can ponder it, she runs up and flings her arms around you. You're hugging a lot. I mean, yeah? What's wrong with that? Weird thing to say. She's silent. She simply holds you in place for a long moment. Sometimes your sister's talent for diplomatic scheming worries you. At least you are confident her hugs are genuine. Eventually she releases you. She holds onto your hands, though. There is clearly something she wants to discuss. Okay, but she doesn't say anything. I have seen Mother. Of course, you know the truth. She is unwell, but only temporarily. Soon she will be back in the throne room, and Haven can rely on her absolutely. We both know that's not true. Come on. Good news. I will make sure to spread the word about that. I mean, yeah, I might do that, but can we not have both? Both an actual serious discussion of how things are, and trying to, keep up the image of Haven as being absolute and eternal to the outside? I'm gonna keep trying, even though the game keeps, I don't know, punishing me for it, basically. Her smile remains, but her eyes get a familiar, steely look. You are no healer, Atantuo. You're painfully mistaken. You two... Come on. Queen Sharyn III has a mild ailment, and it will be resolved soon. And that is all outsiders need to hear. Yes, I know, but you're not outsiders. Come on, this is stupid. And we are trying to heal her. We are succeeding in healing her, which is easy, because she is not seriously ill. Okay, this... I'm getting flashbacks of the first game where there were several instances of similarly written dialogue that just, kept pushing me in one direction, and I mean, why? Why insist so much on this? I mean, I get it. I understand it. Everyone understands it. And, the character that I'm playing as should be intelligent enough to understand what's going on. But okay, the game insists on, going in this direction, and I should just accept it, stop fighting it, but it's tough. What else did she say? She mentioned that you need to be married. Actually, she only mentioned that very briefly when I specifically asked about her. She's still working on the list. Information on the Rokaj. Sure, let's just talk about all these things. She looked sad, and she's probably right. I should not complain, but it has been a hard, lonely life here. Sometimes I feel very alone. But Mother is too busy to think about that now, for better or worse. She's still working on her list. Sometimes I wish I could grab that pen out of her hand and throw it into the fire. But she needs to work on the list. So I don't. So I don't. Throw it. Okay. I have a mission in the Rokaj. Yes, I know. A simple diplomatic mission. Simple, sure. Hopefully you can do it quick and get out. It is important for you to be seen, important to show authority, and important for us to get you safely home. You will not be alone. You will have the General and the mirrors. The General and the mirrors? As if I don't know what she's talking about. I'm no diplomat. I beg to differ. I mean, this is literally the same as we did in Sacramentum, right? Why is the problem of the Rokaj being addressed by me? The Ro tried to kill me. Wow. I don't know. I kind of don't really want to talk about all of these things all over again. It's ultimately kind of pointless. But let's just do it, I guess. The General and the Mirrors. General Miranda in Fort Meadow 4 will be your guide. Consult with her often. Also, each of Haven's forts has a mirror. Walk up to it and we can talk to you. We will be looking out for you. And we may have valuable things to say. You may. Well, some of you, perhaps. And sometimes there will be Sutter. But, oh well. When you return to Haven's forts, don't forget to check the mirrors. Right. I'm no diplomat. I mean, again, that's kind of stupid and just not true. Huh, you are now. Mother said so. Fortunately, we will make sure you do not suffer alone. You'll do great. Why is the problem of the Rokaj being addressed by me? Because Mother loves that miserable place in her way. Only a prince will do. She doesn't want a war with them. It would hurt her greatly. But let's be clear. They try to kill you. If a war is necessary, Mother will not hesitate. So let's try to prevent that. Right. For more reasons, of course, than just Mother not liking it. The Ro tried to kill me, and thus only you can deal with them. Don't worry. You'll be fully protected. However, we have to show that they haven't frightened us. They try to be rid of you? Well, then they get a lot of you. That'll show them. Right. Do you have any advice for me? Nothing you haven't been told before. Talk to General Miranda a lot. Use the mirrors in Haven's forts. Judge your governors. Hear the petitions of the Rasas. They're arrogant little kings. And also spread the lie that the Queen is doing just fine everywhere. I get it. Then come home. I miss you. She takes a step back. And it is time. Time? She looks at the portal. Your departure is hard, but it is ordered and necessary. Let's get it over with quickly. I mean, I'm a Prince of Haven and refuse to do this. It's necessary, so I'll do it. I mean, again, surely, technically, there should be, half an hour or an hour to talk about more things, more, I don't know, happier things, perhaps. And again, I know, the game is just going to tell me, nope, that's not how it works. That's not how I want things to go. But oh well. There's a whole nation of vessels that stands on the edge of war and destruction. I need you, but they need you too. Yeah, again, an hour would not change anything, but fair enough. Use the portal, do your work. Right. Final embrace, good luck. Okay. Well, I didn't expect this visit home to be particularly enjoyable. And in a way it wasn't. Well, at least now we have our main quest, right? As if we didn't know right off the bat what, this game was going to be all about. Anyway, we're back here. Kind of a relief, honestly. The Queen has sent me back to give you orders regarding the Rokaj. Yes, I have been fully briefed. You need to evaluate the governors of the Kranis Woods, Lodaga, and Hylitha. You need to hear the petitions of the Rasas of the 4 provinces and answer them. Then report the results of this entire mess to me. This is the Queen's order. Once it is done, I understand you will be removed from the Rokaj. I will probably be left here to deal with the wreckage. She smiles. I envy you. Before you do much, you must go west to Lascara and get permission to travel from the Rasa. There. This will allow you to go north on the pilgrimage road. Okay, I can't just go wherever the heck I please. So basically exactly like the first game, where there's a certain order of in which you can visit all the different areas, the provinces. And before you have some kind of permission, you just cannot cross those border checkpoints. I was kind of hoping that this game would be a little bit more open in that way, but I guess not. Well, we'll see. I need permission to travel through the Rokaj? Yes, it is the custom, tradition. It is part of our contract of vassalage with the Ro. Fortunately, it is but a formality, but it does show respect to them. Just go to Lascara and talk to the Rasa. I'm sure we will provide some nice ceremonial gifts too. What do I need to do about the governors? Fortunately, there is no governor in the Gentle Coast at the moment. That leaves 3 to evaluate. Governor Yvette of the Kranas Woods, Governor Otto of the Low Daga, Governor Ivana of the High Letha. Investigate, meet the governors, travel through the provinces, then decide if they should be allowed to keep their jobs. Report your decisions to me. Okay. What do I need to do about the Rasas? There are 4 Rasas at the moment, each the leader of one of the Ro's 4 provinces. You must meet with each to hear a petition of grievances. It is an old, important ceremony. Manners demand they ask for very little, especially from a prince. Well, we'll see about that. Do what is necessary to satisfy their needs, then report your success to me. Okay, do I have other questions? I guess not. Okay. A new quest. Wow. We have a lot of new quests, actually. Well, everything. All of these are just individual quests. They're all right there. Well, obviously permission to travel kind of has to be the first one to tackle. The Queen's Wish. Right. Okay, that's just the overarching main quest. Alright, then we have minor quests down here. Knowledge and the Fort Restoration. Right. Wait. Oh, I haven't... Did I not talk to Chief Cestus? Maybe I did not. I think I'd meant to, but I never did. As you pass by the mirror, it starts to shimmer and sparkle. Someone is trying to contact you. Already? Okay. Oh, of course. The mirror shimmers. Your reflection disappears, replaced by a thick fog. You watch carefully, expecting some vision of or flashy bit of magic. Instead, you get Prince Sutter's voice. He's cranky. So I got the news. You're stuck in the row. Miranda passed on Mother's wishes, yes? Yes? I mean, I knew all of that before I came here. Also, you knew that I was going to back to the row, so I'm not sure why we are having this conversation. But okay. I need to hear the petitions of the Rasas. I need to judge our governors, yes. I will finish up this nonsense quickly. Well, let's be honest here. I'm not going to try to be particularly quick, and also the game is not going to allow this to be quick. So, yeah. I'll bring peace back to the Rokaj. Yeah, I will, in the end. Really? You really think so? Yes. You've been failing... What? We've been failing at that for centuries, and we don't have time to waste. The Queen looks weak and the vassals are restless. We need to look confident and in control. Do what Miranda said. Take your little tour. Give your judgments. Move on. We have great, great faith in you. You won't be helping me? Sutter snorts, then laughs. Me? Atantuo, I'm going to be the king. I need to be visible and active in the most powerful, most influential vessels. Places where rebellion reduces the amount of food sent home. Most of the time, you get to live the life of the happy prince. Sometimes we need you to clean up a mess. That time is now, and the mess is in the row. Wow. This guy's just a jerk. He's just insufferable. Why can't I not tell him that to his face? Well, what will you actually do? I mean, I wish I could be sure that I'm saying that in a snarky way. Sutter is silent for a time. When he speaks, he sheds his normal shell of casual arrogance. I fight, Atantuo. Mother has found me to be an efficient fighter and leader. She sends me where someone needs to be killed. It is exhausting, but it is my duty. Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that then. I think you want to be more involved. What? Not sure what I mean by this. Oh, really? Bless me with your wisdom, Atantuo. Why would that be? Oh, more involved here. Okay. Actually, I'm not really concerned with others saying. A good attitude. Okay. Somehow I didn't expect him to like that, but whatever. The Rokaj really mattered very little. The Rokaj really matters very little. Perhaps our neglect may have caused problems here. Problems there. If that is the case, you are a full Prince of Haven. You can make the problems tolerable for them. They can expect no more or less. With Mother not at her best, we have one goal. Mother not at her best? What are you talking about? She's doing just fine. And that is? Get the job done. Yes, I know. Listen to the Ross's complaints, gather governors, give Miranda her orders. Move on. That's all anyone needs or deserves. That is what should be done. Can't be sure of that. I need to actually investigate first. I mean, yeah, we still need to find out who ordered the assassinations, right? And who's sending out the raiders. At the very least, in addition to what I'm officially tasked to do. Well, anyway. That is your way, it isn't mine. Well, yeah, we'll see. Either way, I have to investigate first. There's silence, you wait for a response. None comes. Sutter has left. The fog in the mirror clears and you see your reflection. You look irritated. But prolonged exposure to Sutter causes that reaction in everyone. Yeah, especially me. Ugh. Okay, so I guess I basically decided to just... I don't know. Be as... agree as little with Sutter as the game allows me. And, you know... yeah, we'll see how far I'm gonna be allowed to take this. Oh, wow. We've already crossed the 1 hour mark just with all these conversations, but I guess it's good to have all of this out of the way. So yeah, we'll quickly finish up this conversation here, and then I guess next time I'm gonna... Well, we'll see if I guess I don't really have any... Well, we might get... Well, can I maybe start and finish a single sentence? So... We'll probably finish the quest that we're still currently on about rebuilding the fort. Maybe we'll get a follow-up to that. And I was able to ask her for side quests before, but at the time she said that we needed to first deal with the lighthouse. But now she's actually going to give us some quests concerning some of these other areas that we've already found and put on the map. So obviously I'm going to deal with some of those, or well, probably realistically one of those next time. And we're going to see a little bit more action after this very dialogue and lore heavy episode. Anyway, I will need your support for my mission here. Anything I can do? Wait, weren't we supposed to talk to her specifically to advance the rebuilding quest? Which one would that be? I need support for my mission here. Of course. No. Never mind. That is what it said, right? Force restoration. Speak with Chief Sisters. Okay. The lighthouse has been retaken. Anything I can do for you to help restore the fort? She gives it some thought. We do need help. We need supplies to rebuild, but our lines are cut off to the north and the south. They need to be reopened. The most urgent problem is Port Osborne. Oh, yes, of course. Right. I wasn't expecting to actually get a quest to deal with that place. I thought that was just optional for me to return because I want to finish things. But, yeah, okay. Port Osborne, where you arrived in the Rocage. The raiders still hold the hall by the docks, and I don't have the ability to dislodge them. You do. Kind of wish I had just dealt with that of my own accord before talking to her. Maybe gotten some different dialogue out of it, but oh well. Right. I'm eager to help. Oh, yes I am. As you recall, I'm sure Port Osborne is to the south. The building held by the brigands looks out over the docks. Yes, I know. Thanks. Oh, okay. So that is still part of the fort's restoration, somehow. I suppose, yeah, we need to have access to the port in order to, be able to receive materials and resources and supplies via trade. So that makes sense. Somehow I expected to, this fort restoration quest to just be the first stage and be over and replaced by something else, but I guess not. So I suppose we're gonna keep working on that one, at least for the time being, before I guess we go on an expedition over to Lascara. Right. For now we are officially tasked to go there, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we won't get quests for these claims and the ruins. But, well, we'll see. First things first. Next time, we're gonna head out. I guess do I have some things to sell? I do. I'm also going to give the second potion to my other warrior. That's certainly not what I meant to do. Didn't expect the game to switch back to my first character there, but oh well. This shouldn't matter because we can just restore it like this. Yeah, okay. Interesting that it lets me drink a potion in town anyway, or at all, because obviously there's never going to be a reason to. Sell real quick, that and that and that. Ceremonial thing actually sold for a nice amount. Technically, I guess I have enough to buy a rune or two, or augment or something, or even some armor upgrades. Actually, I haven't looked at armor upgrades at all. Wait. Ooh. Even buys armor, sells armor. He does. Okay, including leather. I was wondering if it was only going to be metal. Bronze scale. Stun resist but speed penalty, I see. I mean, if I'm playing my main character as the kind of boring, you know, sword and board warrior type, I guess it makes sense to have at least slightly heavier armor. Yeah, like, I mean, there's light, medium, and heavy armor, right? So I'm probably not going to go for the really heavy stuff with the 20% speed penalty. I think I might have in the first game. But maybe I'll just go for this stuff. Can't actually afford this iron scale armor, though. But we have access to it. So I'm not going to pay 58 for this inferior armor. And instead I'm just going to see if I can't make... Well, I'm obviously going to make some money on that quest by retaking the port. And we're definitely going to be fine with what we have right now. So, anyway, that's going to be that for this episode. Yeah, a lot of talking, and obviously exhausted me quite a bit. And I don't know, I feel like I couldn't quite put into words everything that I maybe would have liked to, but, well, you know, you got the gist of it, I'm sure. And we're going to have plenty of opportunities to talk to our siblings and probably the Queen and all kinds of other people and, you know, deal with them and the game's quirks, for better or worse. But, yeah, for now, I'll take a break and we will go on some more adventures next time, which should make for a nice change of pace. So, as always, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.